Hi, this is Regeline Sabat, also known as Gigi. You're listening to Walk With Me podcast. My guest today is Kristie Lynn. Kristie is the CEO and founder of The Passion Coach, intimacy and relationship coach. She's an infertility support coach and advocate, an infertility survivor, direct sales and network marketing mentor, and Kristie is an official Life Service Center of America speaker, wife, and mother. Welcome to the show, Kristie.
Thank you for having me, Gigi.
You're welcome. It's an honor to have you here today. Now, why don't you start off by telling us about you and where you are from?
Sure. So as Gigi said, I'm Kristie Lynn. I am a wife to my loving husband of 10 years. We'll be celebrating in July. I am a mom of my two miracle babies, which we'll talk more about, my 5-year-old boy-girl twins, and we live in New York on the east end of Long Island. And I am a mompreneur and founder of The Passion Coach, where I educate and empower and support women through their journey to achieve their desired relationship goals.
I love it. Now, tell us more about what inspired you to become a passion coach and what does it truly mean to be a passion coach?
Truly, Gigi, it's about women's empowerment and supporting them through their journeys. And the way I got started was through my own journey of self-discovery through my struggles with infertility. And my husband and I, we got married, and a year later we purchased our first home. And so you know the saying that comes first comes love, then comes marriage, then comes the baby in the baby carriage. So we started trying to have a baby, and quickly after a year went by, it flew and nothing was happening. We ended up going to the doctor, had all of these tests done. It was all inconclusive. And then we started to go through rounds of infertility treatments. And first round, after second round, after third round of, they call them IUIs, which are intrauterine inseminations, we were getting nowhere. And I felt like not only a failure as a woman to produce, my own children, but also as a professional. And this is kind of the context behind the Passion Coach. Back 5 years before I got married, I started my journey as an independent consultant for Essential Product Company, where I went into women's homes and I presented different bath, spa, intimacy items, and I educated women about sexual health and their bodies. And throughout that time where I got married and started to try to have a baby, I'm all along preaching to women about the importance of sex and relationships and keeping the spark alive in the bedroom. But there I am trying to make a baby, and sex became a chore. So I started feeling all of the feelings. I started feeling like a fraud and imposter syndrome, they call it, and it just took over. And there was really a lack of knowledge on my part where to find resources and where I can talk to people who have gone through it. And I really needed the support, and I had no clue where to go. So I literally started to become vulnerable. I started talking to women at my parties, letting them know that I was struggling. And sure enough, I came to find out there were a lot of women who were also going through those same struggles that I was. And opening up, Gigi, it opened so many doors to me, to meet these women who were also struggling with these problems. And some of them even came out on the other side, and they were a sign of hope. And, fast forward through my struggles, that's how I became the Passion Coach. And now I help women and support them through not only relationship struggles, but through their journeys of having a baby and going through infertility.
Excellent. And now you also spoke at our global virtual panel of infertility survivors event, and you are now officially a Life Service Center of America speaker. Tell us a little bit more about your experience as an LSCOA speaker.
This has truly been such a blessing. to be a speaker on this stage and to really educate women who are going through these struggles, who have been through these struggles, and to really promote what we are doing is inspiring. And it is so important to have these discussions and almost make them, you know, an everyday topic of conversation, because it's not talked about widely. And to have this exposure, to be able to be on your stage, just has been such an amazing opportunity, because I know that somewhere out there we are helping women and men who are going through these struggles to see that there is a light at the end of the tunnel and there is hope. And we have the opportunity to touch so many lives as a speaker on these stages, that it is something God has given us the opportunity to do, and we should be taking it daily.
I love it. There is a light and there is hope. Very powerful message there. Thank you. Now, you are also a survivor of bullying. Tell us a little bit more about your story.
Yes. So my childhood, I grew up in a, I would say, lower income area of where I'm from on Long Island. And my mother, who is a single mom, raising me and my two younger brothers, one of which is disabled, she sent me to private school because she wanted to get me a private education. She wanted for me to have a better life. And I mean, she worked 3 jobs raising us, to even pay for private school. She worked her butt off. And unfortunately, I was a victim of bullying all the way from kindergarten through high school. I was, quote unquote, the poor kid that went to the private school. I can remember at a time, it was Thanksgiving, where one of the class moms delivered Thanksgiving baskets to my home. And when they realized it was me and I was in their child's class, quickly after that, all of the kids, would tease me, make fun of me. I remember being just targeted as the ugly fat girl. That was my label growing up, the ugly fat girl who was poor. And it really left such an impact on me and my self-confidence, where when I got to college, it was like a whole different ball game. I went to a college where no one knew me, and I did that on purpose because I wanted to start over. I wanted to gain confidence and to really focus on myself. And I never had that opportunity because I was constantly bullied growing up all that time. And in a private school where if the kids had the money, nobody did anything about it. I was the poor kid. I was not the focus, if you will. They, teachers and administrators, they would ignore it. They would let it happen. And I just know that when my children go to school and they're going to go to kindergarten next year, I will be an advocate for them and for any children who have any remote signs of being bullied. I will be their advocate because I went through it. I was actually partially suicidal at a point in my life where I didn't think there was any reason to live. And I found God in college. I found him, and our relationship just has become so strong. He brought me to my husband, who is amazing. He blessed me with my 2 children after going through all my struggles with infertility. And I just have so much happiness in my life. And I am so glad that I did not take my life. And I didn't listen to all of those people who bullied me and put me down and made me emotionally, physically, and mentally drained.
Well, we're glad you're still with us as well and that you did not end your life. You're so hope for so many others as well. Now, what is your best piece of advice to those who may have gone through bullying themselves?
Yes. To know your worth. God put you on this earth for a reason. And there are times that you'll go through life wondering, why am I here? What is my purpose? I'm nothing. I'm not worthy. And you'll think all these limiting beliefs in your head, but there's a reason you're here. Just one person coming in contact with you, you can change their life. So know your worth, know you are worth living on this earth because God gave you the right to live here. He brought you to this earth for a reason, and it's your time to shine.
I love it. It is your time to shine. Now, what is your why that keeps you going?
It's all about empowerment, about serving others from a really neutral and authentic space, and just wanting to help people. My passion solely is empowering women because, listen, glass ceilings are being crushed everywhere. Look at our vice president. I mean, it is a great time in the US and globally. Women are breaking barriers, and I think that is so important. I have a daughter, and my daughter, I have I have so much hope for her. She could be president someday. She can do amazing things, and just serving others. That's the goal, and that's what all of our goals should be. There shouldn't be a reason or an end goal of the service. It should be doing God's work.
Amen. Do God's work. Very powerful. Now, tell us more about a time in your life where you experienced an aha moment.
A lot of times, but I will go to probably in my consultation room. And this was about 14 years ago when I was and still am doing the in-home parties for women. And a 76-year-old woman came into my consultation room, and I'm about to sell her marital aids. And this is a 76-year-old woman. And she looked at me. I was 26 years old. And she said, "You are doing an amazing thing." And I looked at her, and at that time I was so young, I didn't have any idea of the impact I was making. And I asked her, I said, "Well, what do you mean? Tell me more." And she said, "I'm 76. I have 12 children, and what you're doing to educate and empower women about relationships and prioritizing them and taking care of themselves and helping their relationships thrive, and the advice that you're giving and the consults and direction that you're giving at your parties is something every woman needs to hear." And that coming from such a wise woman was just mind-blowing to me. My aha moment was, here I am. I am here to help women and their relationships to be stronger, to thrive, and to achieve happiness that will last a lifetime.
I love it. Now, what is your best advice to the audience for walking with purpose and living a life of happiness?
Again, I always go back to serving others. I believe in karma. I believe that when you are given the opportunity to serve, that you should fully be serving. If the opportunity, arises where you can help another human being, you can help a child, you can help the elderly, you can help your church, you can tithe, and you're in the position to financially support someone, that you should be doing it. Pay it forward, give back, do all of those things, and you will be rewarded.
Serve others. Very inspiring and uplifting. Kristie, thank you for being a guest on Walk With Me podcast. Now, where can the audience find you?
They could go to my website at www.kristielynncoaching.com, or they could connect with me on Instagram at mama.preneur.
Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to check out Kristie at KristieLynnCoaching.com. And again, her IG there is at mama.preneur. And that's MAMA.PRENEUR. And Kristie, thank you again for being a guest on Walk With Me podcast. You have a great day.
Thank you so much, Gigi. You as well.